if we were free, we should be able to govern ourselves separately from the colonizer, separately from the oppressors, restored as before, if we were free.
Oh, Israel, the call never died. From the south, the lost sheep rise. From Mississippi soil where the history haven't changed in the land, but the promise still steady. Names got taken, truth got buried, but the word still breathing, never went missing. Lost sheep scattered, still hear the tone. Shepherd calling, saying bring them home. Not a rumor, not a myth. Ancient bloodline covered in stitch, no crown on head, no throne in sight. But kings still walk when they live upright. Priests in order, hearts in check. Walking the path of Melchizedek.
Order of Melchizedek. Hey, stand righteous, stand correct. No beginning, no end, we said. Walk in truth, no disrespect.
Order of Melchizedek.
Order of Melchizedek.
Lost sheep found, hearts reset.
Lost sheep found, hearts reset.
From Tupelo we represent.
From Tupelo we represent.
Israel rise.
Remember that.
Remember that. Not here for hate, not here for noise. Here to rebuild men, women, boys. From prison walls to broken homes. Still hear our voice through flesh and bone. Teach the law, apply the way. Faith works, lived every day. Not traditions handed down, but ancient paths we walking now. 12 tribes breathing, still intact. Truth don't change, that's fact. Scattered, warned, and gathered again. Written long before the pen.
Order of Melchizedek. Hey, stand righteous, stand correct. No beginning, no end, we said. Walk in truth, no disrespect.
Order of Melchizedek.
Order of Melchizedek.
Lost sheep found, hearts reset.
Lost sheep found, hearts reset.
From Tupelo we represent.
In Tupelo we represent.
Israel rise.
Remember that.
Yeah.
Remember that.
Who are we?
Israel.
What we teach.
True. Why we here?
Wake the lost sheep. Order, discipline, restitution, not confusion, restoration. No corner prophets, strange swing, no water down, truth or name. Study the word, live it out, let correction cast pride out. Fathers restored, mothers strong, families healed where it went wrong. Not perfect men, but hearts aligned, learning obedience one step at a time.
Order of Melchizedek.
Stand righteous,
Yeah, stand righteous.
stand correct.
Lost sheep pride, chains disconnect.
Covenant people.
Never reject. Order.
People, from the south to where you at.
From the south to where you at.
Israel, wait, don't you forget.
Israel, don't you forget.
It's the order. Multi-rebel. This is remembrance. This is order. This is the call.
To the hall, to the lost sheep.
Israel lives.
All right. I had my microphone off earlier, I believe. I said, if we was free, then we should be able to govern ourselves without any interference from the colonizers, if we were free. That's why it's important to know who the real Israelites are. All right? Let's get into it. Shabbat Shalom. All right, let's get into it. Let me see here. Y'all see that toe tag up there? Y'all see that toe tag up there? Huh? Let me go back to y'all. Y'all see that toe tag right there? What's that, Revelation 13:10? Babylon is falling, it's falling. As a matter of fact, let me read that. That ain't Revelation 13:10, but let me read this other one first. Babylon is falling. Dead. It's dying. You see it dying. People don't know what's going on. That's okay. All right, now let me see here. Let me Google search it right quick. Yeah, it's already here. Let me see here. All right. Now let me share my screen. All right, now, Revelation 14:8. And there followed another angel saying, Babylon is fallen, that great city, because she made all nations drink of the wine of the wrath of her fornication. All right, and he cried mightily with a strong voice, saying, Babylon the great is fallen, has become a habitation of devils, the hole of every foul spirit, and a cage of every unclean and hateful bird. Now, let me look at y'all. Now, you know, you read in some of these books, in chapters in Revelation, as the earth get wicked, no one's protesting and contesting injustice and righteousness. So the Most High is going to let more evil spirits on the earth. You know, it's been a few years since I went over that. So the evil spirit is going to get paroled because people is not protesting and they're not living right. People, the Most High like this. If you want Satan, then hey, you can have it. But the clock is ticking. All right, now let me get to this Revelation 13:10. All right. If any man or woman have an ear, let him hear. He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. You gonna die with that slave master mentality. You going down with Babylon. You can't put this on the Old Testament. This is Revelation. I'm giving you the book of Revelation and some revelation. He that kills with the sword, you love blood? If you sow blood, you're going to reap blood. With the sword, he must be killed with the sword. Here is the patience and the faith of the saints. All right, now let me see where I want to go here. These folks, everybody's finding out now. Everybody's finding out now that the elites is trying to enslave everybody. They're finding out now. It was all right, long as it was the Negroes. long as you was keeping them chains and shackles on the Negroes, it was all right. Don't look for me to help you. Them your folks, I'm talking to you colonizers and non-justice sympathizers. Them your folks. Y'all go handle that. Do like y'all did January 6th. All I can tell you, I ain't got nothing for y'all. Because we done help these colonizers fight in every single war. And when we get done helping them, they got a plantation waiting on us. They got a whip for the back and chains and death right there waiting on us. You know, every single time. But let me all right, now. I asked AI a question. If former slaves were freed, then shouldn't they be able to govern themselves as before they were? As before, because they are now free 100%? That's a loaded question. All right, now this is the answer. While emancipation, that ain't what I asked. See, it should be a simple yes or no question. Should be a simple yes or no. But let's read between the lines. All right, now, legally granted freedom. See, that's one. All right, I'm gonna try to chill out. The transition from slavery to self-government was not straightforward 100% shift. We know that. As formerly enslaved people faced systemic, economic, and physical barriers that prevented immediate independent self-government, which is why we got to get away from them. Y'all want the Bible verse? Can anybody think of the Bible verse or any Bible verse where the Most High tells us we got to get away from them? I'm gonna wait, and then I'm gonna go on and pull the Bible verse up. Hold on, let me see here. Yeah. I'm gonna see if anybody gonna pull it up. All right. Let me go back over here. Let me look at y'all comments, see if anybody. I mean, you can. If you don't, I'm gonna just go. If you don't, that's all right. That's all right. Some of y'all may not be as familiar with the word. Let me keep reading. I'm gonna give people time to answer. I know it's about a 10-second delay. All right. Now, if you was free, this is why this country is going down. You shouldn't have to. Once you are free, there shouldn't be no hand, no say so in nothing they have over us. That's how it was before. They didn't have no say so, no jurisdiction, nothing, no control over us before contact. So if you was free, you wouldn't have to worry about no gerrymandering. See, you wouldn't have to worry about police brutality because we'd handle that ourselves. We didn't have this problem until we got around them. We didn't have to worry about no gerrymandering. Understand? Chattel slavery. We didn't have to worry about none of that. As you're going to see later on in this video, these people are putting homeless foster children into prisons now. Let me read that, Leviticus 20:26. Since you put that up there, let me see what that says. Leviticus 20:26. This is the Bible verse I was talking about, but I'm gonna go back to that Leviticus. I like your input because that would then come to my mind. You understand? 20:26. It's just like class. We just sharing knowledge. This is a good one. All right, I'm going to start at 25. And ye shall therefore put difference between clean beasts and unclean, and between unclean fowls and clean, and ye shall not make your souls abominable by beasts, or by fowl, or any manner of living thing which creepeth on the ground, which I have separated from you as clean. What you going to find out? These animals that the Most High told us not to eat, they got parasites in them and diseases. Like all that example, lobsters and crabs is like roaches and scorpions. They're eating dead whales. There's something in the ocean eating up dead whales. Let me help y'all. There's something in the ocean eating up dead fish. When something dies, it don't disappear. Something have to clean the ocean. You understand? Something got to keep the ocean clean. What does the buzzards do? They keep the ground clean. Therefore, limiting infectious diseases. You understand? All right. I'm telling y'all, everything got a purpose. Oyster filters the water. But let me keep going. This is the verse that was given to me. And ye shall be holy, set apart, set aside, different than. For I am Yahweh, Yahweh, am holy, and have served you, have severed, cut off, separated, set apart from other people, that ye shall be mine. That's a great verse. All right, now let me get to it's a great verse. All right, now maybe go back. 2 Corinthians 6:17. All right. Let's start at 15. All right, let's go 14. Be not unequally yoked together with unbelievers. All right. So some of us think like the colonizer. Example, you call yourself a Christian. Where is that at in the Bible? Who come up with that? You said, what's wrong with that? The Klan are Christian. These so-called, what they call them, white nationalists are Christians. They are unbelievers. How you know they're unbelievers? Because they do not obey the word. When you look at that Bible, you don't see holiness. You see hatred. When you look at them and you read that Bible, you see hatred. You don't see the word. All right. For what fellowship have righteousness with unrighteousness? Okay, why is black churches I could do a whole thing. It's a whole list of black churches that was bombed by the Klan. I got it in my notes somewhere, and it was a bunch of them. Where was the white Christians at stopping this? Y'all serving the same God. Y'all all are believers. Well, where in history were the white churches preaching messages to their people, telling them that that's not what the Bible said? Where are they now with the gerrymandering? Where are they now with the police shootings? Where are they now with these hate groups running amok, targeting black folks? Where are they now? So why are you yoked with them? And what communion have light with darkness? And what concord have Christ with Belial? Or what have he that believeth with an infidel? See, if these folks was righteous, you would know it, because they gonna them rebel hillbillies, these white supremacist hate groups, these people not living the Bible. If these people start checking in, they gonna separate them themselves. Since they still in there with the ones that hate us, that's what they are. You ain't no room for lukewarm, hot or cold. All right. And what agreement hath the temple of Yah with idols? Every holiday is a pagan god. You got Easter. It was Passover. See, this is what happened in captivity. The slave master take what was yours and put a pagan god. They place an abomination that makes desolate. They place as a form of abomination of desolation. Instead of Mashiach being remembered on this day, the Alpha and Omega, as they call it, the first and the last, the beginning and the end. So you don't even know what this is. A lot of you don't. You get the rabbit and the eggs. What agreement hath the temple of Yah with idols? For ye are the temple of the living God, as God has said, I will dwell in thee. What evidence that the Most High is in people? They should be able to look at your lifestyle, and it should line up with the word. What they see when they see in this word, they should see an example. Are you trying in your life? Whether you realize it or not, people are watching you. Okay? I will dwell in them and walk in them. I will be their Elohim or God, and they shall be my people. Wherefore, come out from among them and be separate, saith Yahweh, and touch not the unclean thing, and I will receive you. Okay? Come out from among this foolishness. All right, now, let me see y'all comments right quick. Shalom, Yahuwah's kingdom. Okay. All right, let me see here. Now, y'all see the question up there. Former slaves were free. We should be able to govern ourselves. If we free, why is there a problem with the same people killing us today? Let me speed this up a little bit. But see, Why are they in control of the finances? They weren't in control of our finances before. Why are they in control of the finances? Why are they in control and able to steal our land? And I know it's because we as a whole are not living right. I know that. I'm trying to get you to see that we ain't free like you think you is. They just camouflage the chains. The chains is camouflage. But every now and then, you'll run to the end of the chain because it's gonna snatch you back. Just like you had that dog tied up. The dog run around for a little while. But when you get to the end of that chain, you ain't going no far. They in control of the money, the land, all the reasons, the government. All right. These are all the stuff that they done and continue to do. All right. Deliberate deprivation of education. Deliberate. They sabotage the education. Give us food desert with bad food that affects our brain. Miseducate us. Put all these racist teachers in the classroom. Fire the black teachers. Open up a school to prison pipeline. And then say something is wrong with us. And that ain't even counting all the heavy metals that's in them shots that white people can take with little or no damage, but black babies, it damages black babies' brain. Proven fact. The melanin holds those heavy metals in. The lack of melanin allows pale people to get rid of those heavy metals in those injections. I've been doing research on melanin by itself. Y'all know that they y'all aware that they use melanin in the stealth fighter jet? Did y'all know that? Are y'all aware of that? While they teaching us by default to hate ourselves, they are weaponized what the Most High gave us. Okay? Now, let me get back. Let me see here. Let me stop and share back. Yeah, they using it that's what I've been doing. I've been taking notes and doing lessons. We might as well learn about this melanin that we got. The Most High got it. He gave it to us. I ain't said worship it. Let me see. I didn't say worship it. That ain't what I'm saying. All right. Let me show y'all right quick. Let me just ask a question, because if not, I have to dig. If not, I'll just do a video later on. Let me see. I think it's chemical. But I got it. I got the answer. I got it. I had to rephrase the question for camouflage. Let me put still. I got it. You go to dig and edit. I got it, family. I think I'm gonna do that video and prove to y'all that they are you. I might have the name of the wrong jet, but they use it in weapons. Matter of fact, let me just go over here. Let me go over here in my notes and look. You need to know something about yourself. If you know something about yourself, you can help. You can heal yourself. They are using them in computer chips. Okay, they're using it in electronics. I ain't gonna keep digging on this because this is a whole nother something I've been working on. They are using it in electronics, okay? But anyway, that's something else. Let me get back on track. Let me get back on track here. They teaching us to hate ourselves the whole time because they know something about us that we don't know. All right. Now let me get back to the. All right, now what is the current racism? Remember Revelation 13:10. He that leadeth into slavery shall go into slavery, captivity. That's what it is. What is current racism black people are fighting today? All right. You still fighting racism. How is you free and you still fighting racism? How are you free and they control everything and you got to go to them to access something? Why can't you build your own? You will say, well, you ain't got the money. Well, when we had the money, they used the government and the military to destroy and erase the wealth, steal the wealth. They eminent domain highways through the lane. You know we couldn't live around them. So what happened to all those black towns and all that land, all that money? What happened to it? If you're free. See, liberty means you ain't got to worry about them no more. They done left you alone. Then you can heal. All right? Let's get into some of it. Police violence and justice system. You got a Roman justice system, just us, stuck and enslaved in this system. Systemic economic disparity. I'm not saying go around with an I'm a slave mentality. Let me be clear about that. I'm not saying that now. But anybody running around here talking about ain't no captivity. The Bible said that real Israelites were going to be in captivity till the Messiah destroy this earth. That's what the Bible says. Anybody talking about ain't no captivity, maybe they just ain't learning the scripture. If you're free, you shouldn't have to worry about getting master's permission before you go take a dump. You shouldn't have to go to master's courtroom to get permit to build yourself a house because their laws have no effect or dominance over you because you're free. Okay? As long as they control this stuff, therein lies the problem. Why can't we just go? There's plenty of land. Why can't we just go our separate way? Matter of fact, this land was black before they came. Let's just get that out the way. But since they're here, why there's plenty of land untapped? Why can't we just go somewhere and they just stay where they at? We're not trying to rule over them. But anyway, let me keep going. All right, now. Healthcare disparities. Healthcare disparities. Why we got to go to them for healthcare? Backlash against equity initiative. Yeah, they got woke agendas. All right? I'm going to tell y'all something. I'm going to look at y'all when I say this. Can y'all? We don't need them. They need us. They need us. We don't need them. We don't need them. They need us. They can't even go out there and work on their own land, on their own farms. They got to have somebody else. We don't need them. That's just like the Pharaoh in ancient Egypt when the Egyptian was black, like the Bible says. Didn't want to let it go. When the Most High get through putting belt to butt, they ain't gonna have no choice but to let us go. Either that or die. All right. Let me move on. Let me try to wrap this up. Now I asked this question. You see how long I've been working on this? 12:50. I've been working on this. I get a lot of messages in my head, so I had to do something with it. Or the Most High just sending me stuff. After a while, he's gonna stop sending me. He's gonna stop sending it to me because I'm not doing nothing with the information he gave me. Right now, while black Americans are legally free, that's a lie. And I just explained to you why that's a lie. And possess the same constitutional rights as other Americans. No, we don't. You say, hi, on paper, they might say we possess the rights, but you watch a black person protect themselves in danger, and they try to lock them up. Carmelo Anthony, two people, with the twin brothers walk over there messing with him. If two of you big son gonna come to me, I'm gonna end it. I done got this mindset. I guess y'all see the white hair. I'm not worried about going to jail. I'm gonna send you heathens a message if Most High let me. Because some of y'all, that's the only language y'all understand. Send you devils a message. If two people, I learned this the hard way in life with black folks. If two black people came up to me and we had a disagreement, it always ended up bad for me. It never turned out good for me. If one or more black people came up to me, I'm by myself, and I'm in disagreement with one, it never ended well for me. So what you think I'm gonna do for these heathens out here? Huh? I'm gonna sit back and worry about going to jail? Sit back and wait and see if they trying to hurt me? When they got a history of killing us and getting off scot-free? The difference when black folks kill another black person, they gonna put them in them slave penitentiaries. That's what they gonna do. Matter of fact, let me give y'all some of this. Let me do this here. Let me give y'all some of this. I might have to unshare and then go back in. Hold on, let me make sure y'all capture this sound. Make sure y'all capture this sound. Let me turn this, see if y'all got this sound. All right. This is Louisiana mayor, governor. He's dog whistling for mass incarceration is what he's doing. Y'all can't hear it. Okay, hold on. Y'all can't hear it. Let me stop saying y'all can't hear it. And don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. Me and see, that's another thing. When you old school, you fight, you live to fight another day. Me and some of them same brothers that we were fighting each other, when the Klan came to town, we had each other's back. We done got older. We done started seeing what's really the problem here. See, yeah. But if you kill them, you try to keep that as a last resort. But if you kill them out of emotion, I'm not saying wait. I'm just saying you be wise. If you feel like somebody trying to kill you, do what you got to do. All right, now.
Driven violence without the gravity it deserves, I am going to call them out individually, publicly, clearly, and directly. And I mean, even the federal judges as well. If it's up to me, I'd send them all there for the rest of their lives. Next. I'm done with them. It doesn't matter how old they are. This is the kind of violence that we end up with when we engage in those kinds of policies.
Okay. How come they don't never come up with no laws to do something about these white mass shooters that's killing their own people? You don't hear talk like this when it's a bunch of white people doing this. There's no getting together, making new laws, none of that. But when the shooter is black, this is what he's talking about. Let me see here. This is what he was talking about right here. Okay. One person was killed and 5 others injured in a shooting at the mall in Louisiana in Baton Rouge. Notice they gerrymandered in Louisiana too. I'm not saying it's right. It's wrong. But doggone it, if you're gonna get all of them, get them white guys. Y'all gotta Y'all got a history of violence. But you ain't talking about that. What it is, you want to move us out the way. You want to put us in these for-profit prisons. You want to put us on the plantation. Revelation 13:10 applies to y'all. You say, I might be, it applies to your children. All right? It applies to your children, yeah. But anyway, the Mall of Louisiana, okay. 117-year-old and 5 individuals got injured. Okay, that's what he's talking about. But what he ain't talking about is Ethan. You know, he was a mass shooter. He ain't talking about the Buffalo mass shooter. He's not talking about Dylan Roof. He ain't talking about Derek Chauvin. That's what he ain't talking about those police that killed that brother in the prison. He ain't talking about that. Notice he talking about Angola. But anyway, let me move on. Let me do this, see if it's going to play.
Louisiana, the state, in order to save money, rather than holding prisoners,
This is the same state, by the way. This is the same state, by the way.
100 years ago, the parish, that's not actual, but a lot of years ago, the parish sheriff started holding prisoners, and they were willing to take a lesser amount than the state was charged for, was having to pay. We have, since I've been the sheriff of Caddo Parish, I don't run a place out there. I don't want state prisoners, okay? They are a necessary evil to keep the doors open, that we keep a few, or keep.
If he don't want state prisoner, then why are you mad when they get out? You see, you have to watch these fork-tongued devils. If you don't want no state prisoners, either you want them or you don't. Okay, number 2. Then why is you mad that they getting released? They done served their time. They done served their time, okay. And number 3, if black folks is as bad as you say they are, you don't need no Nike bait truck. You don't need to put no anything in black neighborhoods so you could get them locked up. Why don't you put that in poor white neighborhoods then? It's always around us.
Keep some out there. And that's the ones that you can work. That's the ones that can pick up trash, the work release programs. But guess what? Those are the ones that they're releasing. In addition to the bad ones, and I call these bad, in addition to them, they're releasing some good ones that we use every day to wash cars, to change oil in our cars, to.
Oh, yes, it's great. Let's just keep the prisoners that's supposed to be released out, keep them in prison, and then call them deadbeat dads.
Cook in the kitchen, to do all that where we save money. Well, they're going to let them out.
Cooking in the kitchen, washing cars, picking cotton.
The ones that we use in our work release program, they're going to let them out. And they're saying you can take a little worse criminal, because we're going to loosen up the standards that you can use them. And so instead of somebody with 4 years left in his sentence working at a factory somewhere, now they're going to say, we're going to let you use somebody with 5 years. Well, I'm not doing that. I mean, at some point, a person, it's more beneficial for them to run off.
That's your job. See, if they run off, then you tack 5 more years on there and you got your worker. That's usually how it goes. You escape, they put more time on you.
And so there's so many aspects of this. There was one law enforcement person on this whole committee. I wish I'd been on there.
That's enough. I'm tired of this man crying. He want his slaves so bad. Let me read this to you. Let me read this for you. Revelation 13:10. This is for you slave-minded heathens out here. This is for y'all. That toe tag is that's gonna be on y'all, because your kingdom is dying. That toe tag is for you devils. You got an expiration date. Look on the horizon. You feeling certain uncertainty? You don't know what tomorrow gonna bring? You feel that shortness of breath? You feel your life like you used to have it? You feel it leaving? Uh-huh. Those are symptoms of what's to come. Stay tuned. All right, now, he that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. That's you heathens. They all in Africa. That's why the people in Africa is poor. That's why people in Cuba is poor. That's why people in South America is poor. They is stealing. Just because you don't see the whip, they got that economic whip. Over there robbing these folks blind. When they get a leader that looks out for the people, they kill them and put one of their puppets in there. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. Here is the patience and faith of the saints. All right. Let me get another one. Is it Isaiah 14 and 2? Let me see here. Isaiah 14 and 2. You said that's Old Testament. Well, okay, if this Old Testament, then tell me when did this happen? It's called prophecy. Okay? For Yahweh will have mercy on Jacob and will yet choose Israel and set them in their own land. And strangers shall be joined with them. Okay, if the nation of Israel in their own land, then where the strangers that's supposed to be joined with them? So where is the other nation? Where the other people getting along with them? Huh? These people is killing other people that's not there. Why? Because they're colonizers. Okay? And they shall cleave to the house of Jacob. People trying to get away from them. When did this happen? Huh? If Israel is back home, read Luke 21:24. Let me go back to it and answer this. Let me read this, Luke 21. All right. Okay. If Israel, see, this is when they were scattered. Isaiah is talking about something that hadn't happened yet. They shall fall by the edge of the sword and led away captive into all nations. When did those people in Israel, number one, was mass slaughtered? And I'm not talking about Germany, because you go looking into the Red Cross, you go looking into the Red Cross number, you go to looking into the changing of the plaques, the numbers ain't adding up. The math ain't mathing. Number two, when did they go into captivity in all nations? When did they go as slaves? Revelation 13:10, he who leads into captivity. Who led the nation of Israel into captivity? Worldwide. When did the Pale people go into captivity? Worldwide. When? You got to establish when before you can say that they done came back. How you gonna say they came back when you don't know when they left? Now, and Jerusalem shall be trodden down of the Gentiles until the times of the Gentiles fulfill. How you know? Why would Jerusalem be trodden down? Because the real people ain't there. The real people went into captivity. Read it. The real people went into captivity worldwide. So the colonizers got control of the land. Constantine set up a church, still over there today. Constantine got a church over there, Gentile. Muslim mosque, Gentile. Jerusalem today. German Jews, Gentiles, still there today. Now let's get back to Isaiah. Let me see here, go back. Okay, Isaiah 14 and 2. Okay, I went back too far. Hold on. All right. All right, now listen up. Listen up for you slave-minded, you people that want to oppress folks. Listen up. And the people who, the nation of Israel, shall take them and bring them to their place. They love trying to put black folks in their place. They love trying to put us in our place. And the people will take them and bring them to their place. And the house of Israel shall possess them in the land. What the land at? Jerusalem. Jerusalem. All right. Let me make sure I get that right. I don't want to misspeak. Isaiah 14:2. I don't want to misspeak. I said Jerusalem. I'm speculating. Let me check. Because I don't want to propagate no lie. Won't propagate no lie. Possess them in the land of, where the land at? It probably ain't gonna have it there. But we know what the land is, territory. It says, we know what the land is. Oh, y'all can't see that. We know what the land is, though. All right. So they had to go back home. See, well, you can look at it this way. He will have mercy on Jacob and yet choose Israel and set them in their land. They're going back home. All right. But look, somebody gonna have to learn how to work, because you got a group of people that don't know nothing about no work. All they do is outsource the work. All right. And take them and bring them to their place, and the house of Israel shall possess them. Okay. Who did the Israelites bring to them, bring back with them as handmaids and men servants? They didn't bring nobody. Why? Because this verse don't apply to them. Why? Because this hadn't happened yet. Why? I'm waiting on Revelation 13:10 to toe tag these devils. All right, now. And they shall take them captive, whose captive they were. So there's a group of people gonna flip the script on the slave masters. They go into captivity. Revelation 13:10. He who leads into captivity is going. I don't know what else to tell you, but get out of that slave mentality. That's all I can tell you. Repent. That's all I can tell you. It's up to the Most High to grant you repentance. All right, now. And they shall rule over their oppressors. All right. Let me see here. I'm looking for my next point. I think I proved my point on that. Let me see here. Now, there's something else. Who benefits from gerrymandering? Who benefits more from gerrymandering, black or white? You know, that's why they read this. When there's too many black folks up there and white people want to control the outcome of who gets elected in the office, they redraw the map. That's why we don't, see, if we separate away from these folks, we don't have to worry about none of this. That's how you know we ain't free. We got a leash, a shock collar at the most. All right. Gerrymandering, particularly in the South and Midwest, historically and currently benefits white political power. White power. White power. Largely by diluting voting strength of black communities. That's a whole other lesson. The Bible tells us not to put no outsider over us. That's why I don't vote. I'm not voting for no heathens to be sitting up over me. And then, the way I understand it, whatever they put out there, I co-sign because I helped get them elected. Yeah. All right. But y'all see what it is. Let me move on. Let me give y'all a you have to watch out for these black Negroes. Let me see if the sound gonna come. I'm gonna come back to that. I might go out with that one. Now, how many of y'all heard? Let me look at y'all for a little bit. How many of y'all heard that that the immigrants are doing a job that don't nobody else want to do? Y'all heard that? I was watching Sister Lisa's video. I'm sitting here taking notes. I'm listening. They want their immigrants back. And somebody said in that video, they make it seem like that we lazy, but I looked at the money. I already knew this, but this is what I found when I look at the money. They don't want to pay you. They don't want to pay you for all that backbreaking work. Look at here. How much annually does farm workers earn? They said the average annual salary for farm workers in the United States is approximately $28,510. You can't even live off of that right here. You can't even live off of that in the South. Why am I going to go out there and get re-traumatized for crumbs? You got me messed up. No health benefits. See, these folks is running a PR propaganda campaign. Earnings can vary significantly based on location and experience. They mean if you white. Let me see. I did another one. Hold on. I did another one. Let me see. Let me see here. But I had one. Let me see here. Okay. Now look at this. Now this is salary.com. How is you going to live off $38,000 in California? Huh? How is you going to live off of that in California? You can barely live off of that down south. It ain't the fact that they can't find nobody to do the work. You can't live off that job. That job is the equivalent of a suicide mission. If you got a death wish, that's the job for you. If you want to die slow, you'll take a job that ain't gonna pay your bills. If you want to die slow, let's just tell the truth. Don't nobody want to do the job. You got a group of people that can't do the job, that can't go out in the sun, and then you got another group that can't afford to do the job because it ain't gonna pay their bills. Now, and this is something else where they getting us on. It's this economic slavery that they got us in. Some immigrants is getting business loans. Okay? They just changed it recently. This is how poor people from other countries come over here and get businesses. They are giving them loans and will not give us nothing, which is why we got to separate from these folks, which is why Babylon got to be destroyed, which is why when I see them over there having trouble with Iran, I start grinning. You understand? And that's something else, Kia. Convicts can't get no government assistance. You would think somebody that's been locked up 10 years, 5 years with no money, they would have to have some kind of income coming in to keep them out of prison. But that goes back to this right here. That goes back to this. That goes back to the slave master trying to keep you in chains. You understand? That's what that go back to. That's why you can't get no. They get 30 days worth of food stamp will help you. No, they just kick you out on the street. Nothing. How do I know? But they give them loans that we can't get. All right? Won't y'all try this experiment? Go to the bank that you've been banking with for years. Ask them for a business loan and see what they tell you. Ask them for a car loan first. Ask them for a car loan. Just say, $30,000 car loan. Ask, can you get it? They'll probably give you that. But if you ask for a $30,000 business loan, I had a heifer tell me, I'm not going to give it to you. I'm going to say this. It was a sister working there. Me and my wife was a witness. It was a sister working there. We went to church together. She gave us she helped us out. And I look around, she gone. See, if you help your people, expect to get the boot. But the Most High gonna have you, all right? Yep. Let me see here. Let me see. Share this tab. Now look at here. How much less are immigrants paid than American citizens? And when they run that lie, I've even seen some Hispanics. I think it was on Lisa's video. Kind of trying to say that we lazy. No, y'all don't want to pay nobody. We got to eat over here. I don't want 4 or 5 families up in the same house. You understand? Anyway, immigrants in the U.S. earn about 10.6% less. Those are the ones that working out there probably in them fields. Now, I don't know what they're doing with the business loans. See, they have to give some business loans to somebody to keep the economy going. It ain't because they like them. It's got to be a certain amount of money floating around to keep the economy going. See, all right? But here you go. They don't have to give them health care and stuff like that. There's a whole lot of stuff they don't have to do for them. That's why they will bypass us and go straight to them. But the immigrants, they really think these folks care about them. They're using y'all. And all black folks really asking, don't come over here disrespecting us. That's really what a lot of us is asking. Don't come over here disrespecting us. I wouldn't go to your homeland disrespecting you. But they come over here disrespecting us. Join right on the side with white supremacists. All right, now. They said they may qualify for certain benefits, but eligibility varies. So they may or may not get benefits. All right. Y'all can see that. All right, let me move on. Let me try to. Now these are, I know my lesson back and forth. Now this is 9 areas of white supremacy. And if we free, then why is all these 9 areas affecting us? Should now an area of white supremacy affect us, period? But the Bible said they was going to be ruling. This 4th beast was going to be ruling until the lion destroys them. The Lion of Yahudah, the Lion of Judah. All right. According to the framework developed by Dr. Neely Fuller, I thought there was a picture of it, but let me see, can I get a picture of him? That way y'all can go check him out. I guess I'd have to Google it, but y'all got the name. Y'all do a little research. Economics, education, entertainment, labor, law. That's why your rap music went from loving each other and helping each other to I can't stand each other. Politics, religion, that clan, Christianity, sex, and war. Okay? Every last one of these things affects us. but we supposed to be free. Every last one of them. They control all of them. We should be controlling our own. You understand? All right, now let me move on. Let me move this up. Let me see here. I'm gonna try to wrap this up. How long I've been going? Oh yeah. Let me try to wrap this up. I'm gonna play that on the way out. That way, if they flag it, I'll just have to trim that part out the video. But yeah. Now this is something else. See, education is a pillar of white supremacy. Is there currently a school to prison pipeline? Is it a school to prison pipeline going on right now? Is you picking up what the truth is putting down? Yes, the school to prison pipeline remains a documented phenomenon in the U.S., where punitive school discipline policies such as zero tolerance and increased reliance on the school-based police push. Ain't it amazing they putting all these police in the black areas, but the white students are the one getting shot up? That tells you who they want. All right? That's saying something. All right, now, if it was school officers in these schools, then where these white folks is at, then shouldn't there be less school shootings? They are putting them there to incarcerate us for the most part. We are the primary target, always has been. And until Mashiach come, always until. I ain't gonna say will be, because it's a toe tag on that devil. That devil got a toe tag. All right. In juvenile and criminal justice system rather than supporting them. But y'all can research that yourself. This is a book. I know it's ACLU, but you can't trust them either. ACLU practices white supremacy also. Don't get it twisted. Take the information, learn from it, and discard the rest. All right. Demographic of children in school to prison pipeline. The school to prison pipeline disproportionately impact black students. Students with disability. Why you want to put somebody disabled in prison? That's why these folks are going into captivity. See, low income youth. Oh, now poverty is a crime. Let me show you one time. Let me show you. I had it. I don't know where I put it. But they are locking up children. I can just do another search. Foster care. I'll just do another one. Now look at this. Kids awaiting foster care placement are being housed in jails and offices. And y'all think the Most High ain't gonna judge this. See. It's been going on. I just recently heard about it recently. Look, imagine that. Your children go into foster care and they put them in prison. It was something else I had. What? That jarred another memory. Hold on. Don't forget alligator Alcatraz. Now, I want y'all to think. Now, how would y'all, if you was put in a place like Alligator Alcatraz, how might y'all try to escape? If you don't know, just put 0 up there. If you were put in a place like Alligator Alcatraz, how might you try to escape? Your biggest danger probably gonna be the alligator, right? So if you couldn't get out by vehicle, I know Florida often don't get cold, but when the weather get cold, them alligators going to sleep. They ain't gonna be able to move around. Well, you can't swim. A lot of it is swamp. Hey, them Seminoles, y'all do know what's that? Seminole is a play on Runaway. Them slaves knew how to survive out there in them swamps. Just do a little digging. Them alligators, when they get cold, they can't move around. You still gambling. But if they try to kill you, they try to kill you. I'd rather, hey, you'll figure it out. You don't want to go at night. I'm just saying, if you got to go, you got to go. And another thing, I don't think there ain't nothing these people make 100%. Best place to do is not be put in that position, but there's no telling what these folks would do. They lie to round you up and put you in the swamp somewhere. Our people survived. Our people used to live in the swamps. So it has been done. Okay? But yeah, so let me see here. Yeah, y'all can see that. Okay. Alligator Alcatraz. These folks they love locking up folks, y'all. They love doing that. Let me see here. Yes. It says as of 2026, this is the deceptive answer. There are no specific details available on the number of for-profit prisons. Okay, so I asked the question again. I said number of for-profit prisons currently being built. So I asked the question another way. How many new prisons are being built in USA? Currently, hundreds of correctional facilities are being planned throughout the U.S. The money gonna be made. $20 for a phone call, stuff like that. Just because they say they ain't planning on making no for-profit paperwork, they can change that to a for-profit prison. They can change that later. That's what some of these detention centers popping up is. All right. With significant construction projects underway or scheduled for the near future. But the other, in the near future, these include near state-of-the-art facilities aimed at improving rehabilitation and reintegration services. Now, family, why is this a lie? Why is improving rehabilitation and reintegration services, why is that a lie? I want y'all to think, family. I want y'all to start thinking. Why is the excuse they're using to building all these new prisons is to rehabilitate people and get them back into society? Why is that a lie? I want y'all to think. That you talking about Alligator Alcatraz? Let me see. No, this is 8 hours ago. They were held and caged in the floor. Hold on. This is 2 days ago. How is the federal and state official discussing closing it if it's closed? Y'all see that? Y'all see that? Yeah. I'm gonna have to rearrange my television, my where I can read y'all comment. I have to look to the side. Y'all see that? It's still open. They discussing closing it. It's probably not gonna get closed. Now let's get back to the question at hand. They said the reason for building new prisons is to rehabilitate. Okay, how is you rehabilitating people not to come back to prison, and you ain't got no jobs out here to help them live off a decent wage? There ain't no jobs out here. Number two, you're locking up foster children that ain't broke the law in the first place. Huh? Number three, you got a school to prison pipeline, but it's all but I don't see that pipeline in the white folks' schools. Not that they should be in there no more than us, but eventually they gonna make their way to the white people. Because the people at the very top wants the whole pie. They want everything. They're gonna eventually make their way to the top. I mean, to the bottom. I mean, to everybody. They ain't never rehabilitated nobody. If you're trying to put your comment up there. Put your comment up there. Let me see. If they rehabilitated, if they rehabilitated people, then how come a convicted felon can't get at least 30 days worth of food stamp for food? Huh? So you get out, you ain't got no job, you got to find a place to live, you ain't got no food. What they expect you to do? I told y'all, the Most High, he told me what to do. I had almost $10,000 in fines. That's not counting how much I got to pay the PO every month. That's not counting a roof over the head. That's not counting food. That's not counting clothes. Not counting shelter. Almost $10,000. Didn't have no money. Didn't have no shoes. I had child support. The Most High, he showed and told me what to do. See, we gonna make it. We gonna be all right. It's not because I'm smarter than nobody. I only got a 12th grade education. I'm not smarter. I'm not no smarter, no better than nobody else. I believe in keeping that Bible. I believe it. I live by it. And y'all willing, I'm gonna die by it. Whether it be old age or they take me to the grave early, whether it be. All praise to the Most High. Hallelujah. Now let me play this video. Let me see, make sure I get the sound in. Make sure I get the sound. Now y'all listen to these house Negroes. See, that's why I really don't feel sorry for the Congressional Black Caucus. They ain't done nothing. These folks, these black faces in high places, they've done more for illegals than they have for us. So I'm not worried about no gerrymandering. But yeah, now they cutting down the black vote. They are restricting the black vote, right? How these Uncle Toms, how these house Negroes gonna get elected now? Huh? You wasn't doing nothing for us no way. But let me play this video.
In the field Negro, the house Negro, they lived in the house with master. They dressed pretty good. They ate good because they ate his food, but he left. They lived in the attic or the basement, but still they lived near their master. And they loved their master more than the master loved himself. They would give their life to save their master's house quicker than the master would. The house Negro, if the master said, we got a good house here, the house Negro say, yeah, we got a good house here.
Look, I understand why so-called, people call themselves FBA, why they got that flag. How you gonna say we communists? See, I've been digging in this history. They throw that communist label on Malcolm and Dr. King. How they gonna say you trying to overthrow the government? They got that flag. I can see why they got it, but I don't care about that flag. And I ain't no communist, none of that. Israelite and straight word of the Most High. When I see America suffering, I'm not saying we suffering. That's just me. And now, if you say we suffering, I'm not. Look, I'm just telling you why I don't say we suffer. I'm looking at America as one big house. Master's house is on fire, not my house.
The master's house quicker than the master would. The house Negro, if the master said, we got a good house here, the house Negro said, yeah, we got a good house here. Whenever the master said we, he said we. That's how you can tell a house Negro. If the master's house caught on fire, the house Negro would fight harder to put the blaze out than the master would. If the master got sick, the house Negro would say, what's the matter, boss? We sick. We sick. He identified himself with his master more than his master identified with himself. And if you came to the house Negro and said, let's run away, let's escape, let's separate, that house Negro would look at you and say, man, you crazy. What you mean separate? Where is there a better house than this? Where can I wear better clothes than this? Where can I eat better food than this? That was that house Negro.
See these old bootleg Negroes? These old bootleg Negroes? Why is it the black preacher is going right along with the white preacher? The black Mason is going right along with the white Mason. The Mason got a history of killing us. The so-called black Greeks, they get offended when you talk about Greek fraternity. They get offended. Why?
In those days, he was called a house nigger. And that's what we call him today because we still got some house niggers running around here.
You see, who is that? Who is that right there? He ain't do nothing for us. Who is that? I seen that video of people talking about they want him back. It ain't gonna matter. They keification. Yep. The Negro be gone. I'm not voting for now. I'm not voting for now one of them.
This modern house Negro loves his master.
Boy, he got the cape on, y'all. He got the cape on.
He wants to live near him. He'll pay 3 times as much as the house is worth just to live near his master. And then brag about, I'm the only Negro out here. I'm the only one on my job. I'm the only one in this school. You're nothing but a house Negro.
Now, look right here. You got, hold on, get right here.
Job. I'm the only one in this school.
You got certain people like Myron Gaines. They all up in these spaces, and these folks is calling them saying N-words and everything else. Candace Owen. They're gonna be out there, they're gonna find themselves by themselves, because once you put this, them Hodge twins, hey, I don't know what they gonna do when the boo-boo hit the fan. I don't know what they gonna do. Don't come around me. Because you can't, how can you trust them?
Nothing but a house Negro. And if someone come to you right now and say, let's separate, you say the same thing that the house Negro said on the plantation.
Now this represents these rappers and actors that's sell us out too. See that?
What you mean separate? From America? This good white man? Where you gonna get a better job than you get here? I mean, this is what you say. I ain't left nothing in Africa. That's what you say. Why, you left your mind in Africa. On that same plantation, there was the field Negro. The field Negro, those were the masses. There was always more Negroes in the field than there was Negroes in the house. The Negro in the field caught hell. He ate leftovers. In the house, they ate high up on the hog. The Negro in the field didn't get nothing but what was left of the insides of the hog. They call them chitlins nowadays. In those days, they call them what they were, guts. That's what you were, a gut eater. And some of you all still gut eaters. The field Negro was beaten from morning till night. He lived in a shack, in a hut. He wore cast-off clothes. And he hated his master.
I'm sorry, y'all. All right. I'm show y'all where that video at. I hit the wrong button. No, it ain't on. But I'm gonna show y'all. I'm gonna put the link in the chat if y'all want to go visit it. I hit the wrong button. I'm gonna just get on out of here. Let me see and put the link. And I share it. People can read, they can Google that title. Y'all see the title right there. But I'm gonna put it in the chat since y'all in case y'all want to check it out. All right, family. Shalom. These folks don't worry about them. They're gonna do what they do. That's what that Joel chapter 3 kick in at. Matter of fact, let me go to it. Joel chapter 3. Let me share it. Let me see here. For behold, in those days and in that time, I shall bring again the captivity of Judah and Jerusalem. That's the 12 nations. And I will also gather all nations and bring them down into the valley of Jehoshaphat and plead with them for my people and for my heritage, Israel, whom they have scattered among the nations and parted my land. See that? There's a group of people that were scattered worldwide, not the people that's there now. They come from Europe. Okay? Everybody, and I'm just using USA, everybody come here hardwired to hate us. You would think they would hate the Europeans. Them the ones that's colonizing their land. Them the ones that got them in detriment, got them in feces, rivers, and the Europeans is the one doing that. But now, because the colonizers got a good PR campaign, propaganda. They come over here and you know, I've interviewed, not interviewed, but I talked to immigrants. And they'll tell you, if they're honest, they tell us to stay away from y'all, you Black America. Why would they do it? Because they can send them back home. That's why. They can send them back home. So they come, everybody, don't y'all find that suspicious? Everybody come over here, hate us and we ain't done nothing to them. So why you think Joel chapter 3 gonna kick in? Huh? Everybody got a problem with the biblical Israelites. But anyway, hold your head up, family. All right? And be holy.
About your goodness, Yahshua, and what you've done for me. Oh, I don't deserve anything you've done for me, and I don't deserve that you laid your life for me. Over and over, I let you down. Over and over, you stayed around. Unconditionally, you keep on loving me, loving me. That's why you are so holy. That's why you are holy. That's why you are holy. Oh yeah, you are holy. I'm calling you Yah the mighty. You are Yah the mighty. Heaven ain't going to heaven, You better watch your mouth when you're talking about who it is you reppin'. There are crazy people who seduce you for your soul. Everything that glitters don't always turn to gold. Whoa. Sometimes it's hard to believe when you're going through it. Trying to give my very best, so I'm trying to keep the faith. I know you got my back, I don't have to worry. You don't ever sleep, 'cause you are holy. You are holy. You are holy. You are holy. And you're oh so almighty. You are so holy. And Omega, beginning and end. You are holy forever. Holy. No one compares to you, 'cause you are holy.